We got you covered here on the PHNX Suns pregame show. It is an early morning edition, but it don't matter. We're still brought to you by our friends over at Michelob ULTRA. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, all taste. I'm not chugging it this morning.
Hell no, you better not, bro.
It's 9:30 in the morning. We had a wedding on Friday. We got a St. Patty's Day party tonight. It ain't happening. I am Espo. That's Saul. That's Flex. And we got plenty coming up for you. But before we hop in to today's topics, let's get to the injury report right off the bat because there was some late breaking news. Suns, Josh Okogie's out, but Giannis Antetokounmpo out with a left hamstring issue. He was supposedly going to go. Doc Rivers actually said he was going to go, and then Woj just reported he's out. Malik Beasley and Marjon Beauchamp also out. Guys, obviously this impacts the game in a major way.
Does it?
Just slightly.
I mean, this became a must-win now for the Suns. Like, it should be an easy win. Like, it should just be an easy win. Like, if you can't beat the Bucks without Giannis, then obviously you have problems. So they got to win this game. This is what you would consider beneficial.
Well, you don't think Jay Crowder can dominate with Giannis out?
I mean, they still got good players. Don't get me wrong.
No, they can still play.
But Giannis being out is a huge deal, and you got to come through if you're the Suns. You can't fuck around with this game.
Yeah, I hate these. You're pumped up, you're motivated, you're ready for the top competition. And then 10 minutes before the game, I know it's more than 10 minutes, but literally right before the game, you get this. It does mess with things a little bit. And I don't trust this team enough in those situations. So,
which team?
The Suns.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
You mean Friday didn't give you confidence with the big three scoring a total of 49 points?
Here's the thing. I've been saying this. I believe in this basketball team. But if this basketball team was playing bad basketball teams, they're first round knockout. It's just weird. If they're playing good competition, I believe in them. But when they play down to their competition, they're the worst team in the league at playing down to their competition.
Okay. This Bucks team still has Dame. Chris Middleton's back today. Like, I also don't think they can get caught overlooking it now either.
Well, look what happened with Cleveland the other night. This is what I'm saying. Like, Dame and Middleton can hoop. They still got ball players over there. But, yeah, I mean, Cleveland was missing 38 players. And they were down 20.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I hope we don't have to turn to the Buscemi spectrum after this. But let's hop into what has been the talk of Suns Twitter and Suns fandom since it happened late yesterday afternoon. Shams Charania ruining everybody's Saturday or making it better, depending on what your perspective is. Isaiah Thomas has returned home. No, not the shadow GM of the Suns. The guard, the quote-unquote point guard, the 5'9" wonderkin, Isaiah Thomas back in the Valley. Flex, does this have any impact on this franchise?
No, it's a 10-day contract. I do think that he's probably gonna run. It's gonna run its course, and he'll be signed for the remainder of the year. But no, I keep hearing people say we got the point guard. He's not. That's not the point guard. They didn't bring Isaiah Thomas here to be the point guard.
He's never been a point guard.
Never been a point guard. Isaiah Thomas is a scorer. He's a microwave. He's a shooter. That's what he does. So you're trying to see if you catch lightning in a bottle. You're trying to see if you have to plug this guy in for insurance purposes, foul trouble, injury, a guy that you can trust that can come out here and shoot the hell out the three ball. Because I think ultimately what the Suns want to do is get more threes up, and this guy does that. And so he'll have an opportunity to get some minutes. if he hits some shots. Listen, I will say he's been playing his ass off in the G League, and he's shooting the hell out the 3-ball. He's 34 years old, and I'm a shooter. I'm a shoot till I'm 100. I mean, you don't forget how to shoot. So, I mean, Eric Gordon, a lot of times we complain about him not taking those shots. Oh, IT ain't going to hesitate. IT going to take them shots. And so I wonder if there's a little bit of that going on.
I think he's Eric Gordon insurance. I definitely think that. Dropped 5 straight 30-point game plus point games in the G League. I think he's break glass in case of emergency if the Eric Gordon we've seen at times shows up.
I mean, it can't get any worse.
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
Except when he shows up every once in a while.
No, listen, like, it can't get any worse because the Suns are dog shit in transition. Point blank. They're one of the worst teams in the league in transition, which blows me away because you have some
defense or offensive transition?
Offensive transition. Okay. Here's some numbers for you, okay? 15% of their possessions against Charlotte started in transition, okay? Their points per possession is a minus 9.8. They are worse in transition than they are in a half court, which should not be the case.
Nope.
They should not be the case. And that's both frequency and effectiveness if you put those together. And then points in transition was 16.7. Like, that's almost 10% of your points when you're going into transition of that 15%. Is all you're scoring. So like 1% of the game you're scoring in transition. That's
terrible.
That is just awful.
It's
the worst
level.
in the league. That is the worst in the league. It's a 0 on the rating scale. Like, they've got to be better overall. They don't make the game easy for them. And that's what I was telling Flex the other day, is like, sometimes I hate watching this team play because they make things look harder than they should sometimes when you have 3 premier talents like the big 3. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. So, you're hoping that I'm hoping that maybe IT can provide some kind of, benefit that maybe we just don't see. It remains to be seen. Shut up, Siri. It remains to be seen. But, listen, IT can score. He can score. And he's very active. Yeah. And, if he can just get a sliver of what he was before in the NBA, then the Suns, that's a good pickup.
Yeah.
It makes you smaller in certain lineups. He's only 5'9". Yeah. Defense has always been sus at best when it comes to IT, but I think it does have to do with 3-point shooting very much, and a guy that isn't afraid to attack the basket, but isn't always going to finish.
He's a little pest.
He fits right in with the rest of the team.
He's 5'9", but he's a little pest. I mean, he's not the greatest defender, but those 5'9" dudes, they have a way of getting under you and causing some problems. So he's always been a little bit of a pest. Again, not a defensive irritant for Beto, but kind of a pest.
I'm not even sure he's 5'9" because I'm 5'9", and I've stood next to the dude.
You're 5'9"?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. You're 5'9".
I don't think he's 5'9".
So I think he's 5'9".
He's not 5'9".
If I'm not 5'9", then he's like 5'7", because I've stood next to him and I'm taller than him.
Yeah.
So
when I saw this, I said,
he's shorter than me.
I know. That's why you're not 5'9".
That makes no sense.
He's 5'9".
No, he's.
You're 5'11".
You're saying
I'm 6 foot tall.
You're saying he's bigger than 5'9"?
Yeah, he's taller than 5'9".
No,
no way he's 5'11".
No.
Who, him?
Why are we debating this shit?
Stand up and go back to back right now.
I actually talked to a guy that coached IT in the G League during those 5 games, and he said to me, obviously he's an easy bucket. He was a great teammate in the time he spent there, which that's tough to tell in a week. But he also understands what his role is at this stage in his career, which I think is important. Because if you're getting the IT that was here in 2015, that guy's attitude was totally, I'm a star and I should be treated as such. If he accepts his role, I think he can be valuable. If there's delusions of grandeur, this is a 10-day contract and he doesn't get that final roster spot. And I think he probably takes some combination of Saban Lee's minutes and whatever you've been given David Roddy to just try to see if he can help that bench. But I don't think he's getting some kind of huge amount of minutes.
He's mature. And I think the thing I'm excited about with this is that you're giving a guy another opportunity that he didn't think he was going to get.
That's fair.
And that type of stuff can pay dividends. I mean, he knows I got to come in, I got to do it right, and I got to perform if I want to stay here. And that's desperation. And when you get a guy that's desperate, they kind of, sometimes you catch lightning in the bottle. So that's what I'm excited about.
Well, we heard from us, but let's hear from a guy that's actually going to be determining the minutes that IT plays. Frank Vogel talked about him.
Yeah, just depth right now. I don't know how big a factor he'll be for us, but we have Saban Lee as a third-string point guard that is on a two-way contract that only has 4 games left, and we don't want to use his games up if he's not going to be in if he's not going to be in the rotation. So Isaiah is someone that we think is a hell of a player. He's been a hell of a player throughout his career. We know he can still play from what he's been doing in the G League, and he's someone that I think the world roots for. Because he was on the top of the world before the injuries throughout his career, and he stayed persistent, in trying to stay with to try to get opportunities. So we're excited to bring him aboard.
First off, Kyle asks, has there actually been an official announcement with IT? Not that I've seen, which unless it just came down, which surprises me that Frank talked about him, because usually they'll be like, we won't talk about a guy till it's official, but he even made it tamp down expectations.
I mean, listen, man, when it comes to Frank and even Monty, like they just don't like to give guys shots. I don't know how many minutes IT is actually going to get before the end of that 10 days is over. So again, you got to temper your expectations because we don't know. We have zero idea. He's already prepping Saban Lee. Is like, oh yeah, but we still got Saban. Like, okay, well, shit. Does this mean IT's even going to get any minutes? I don't know.
We still got Saban Lee is the most depressing phrase in basketball history. Damn. Tyler Eulis still has a pulse. Like, I mean, come on. I root for a guy like Saban Lee, but he's that quintessential guy caught between the G League and the NBA. He's not going to be a guy that makes a huge difference. Let's move on to today's game. We already touched on the injury list and report, but Giannis is out. We've talked about how that changes the complexion, but do you actually feel that this is as easy as we were implying, or is this still going to be a challenge for the Suns?
No, it's not. Listen, if I implied that it was going to be easy, then I apologize, because nothing is easy for this team. Zero. So, no, they have to come out and they got to play. And you know what? I could give 2 shits about this team getting down because Giannis isn't playing. Like, dude, you guys are struggling as it is. You got to get every win you can. You got to stop focusing on what the other team is bringing or not bringing, and you got to take care of yourself. Get your own shit right, and you got to take every opportunity to do that. That's what I would say if I was in the locker room.
Yeah.
Fuck the noise. Fuck who's on the other team. Worry about yourself and getting yourself right before you get to the playoffs. This team is just going through too many funks of late to take other teams lightly right now. Hell, if the Charlotte Hornets can come back from 32 down and cut it to 10 in the fourth quarter and make it seem like, oh man, are they about to get back into this? Like, that's a problem. It's the Charlotte Hornets. So you can't take the Bucks lightly whatsoever.
No, take care of your business. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, they ain't got no room for none of that. I mean, I'm again, history tells me that what I'm hoping for is probably not what I'm going to get. Hey, man, listen, I could see Dame dropping 50 tonight. Darius Garland tried to do it to us the other night. Like, this ain't going to be easy. So, yeah, it's going
this morning.
This morning, my bad. This morning.
The 3-point defense has to be better too. I mean, I was shocked by this stat. Our friend Darth Voida pointed it out. 89.1% of opposing 3-point shooters are considered either open or wide open when they take their shots versus the Suns, because that defense collapsed so much. They only hit 37%. I'm surprised it's not higher than that, but you gotta strengthen that up, especially a Bucks team that isn't going to have the guy that usually is downhill running and getting into the paint. They're going to shoot a lot of threes today, and you're going to have to figure that out. You're not going to change completely, but you got to be better than that.
Over under for you. How many times this game do the Suns hit a 3 and give one right back up?
4. They're
the worst in basketball out there. Drives me fucking nuts. I say it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going over 4. I'm thinking it's gonna happen like 6-7 times.
Well, because it's such a momentum killer. You hit a big 3 and then you give it right back. Rhythm seems to be one of the biggest problems with this group. They never seem to actually get in a rhythm. There's always something that breaks that rhythm. A missed layup that turns into an opportunity on the other end. Giving up a 3 after you hit a 3. Like, it's disjointed. I think that's the best way I can describe this team is disjointed most of the time.
Sorry, I'm yawning.
Is it the game or the fact that it's 9:45 in the morning?
Both. Both. Yeah, I mean, listen, I just, again, if we can get through this game with a win and healthy, I'll be happy. I'm not taking this team lightly at all. This Bucks team is still very talented. So Giannis or not, we're gonna have a game on our hands.
To be fair, they are second in the East, but they're only 2-5 or 2-3 in their last 5. So like they're not world beaters right now either. And without Giannis, maybe that does shift things. Let's take a look at what the guys are wearing today in Milwaukee. It is the Suns White Association edition with the City edition. They don't even have any of their actual colors on this jersey. It's so bizarre to me when they do this. I preferred their Cream City jerseys, but did you ever hear what happened there?
Yeah.
They're what?
It was called Cream City. It
Cream
said
City,
it on it,
yeah.
you know. They get really excited in Milwaukee for basketball, all right? It's actually about the color bricks that they used to produce in Milwaukee.
What kind of bricks? The Cream City bricks?
Yeah, they were the color of cream is what they called it. Anyways, the reason they couldn't the only reason they couldn't wear the Cream City jerseys, and this is the honest truth, I'm gonna keep saying it just to make us all uncomfortable. You know how they started
uncomfortable. I just laugh.
You know how they started doing the projections on the court, the ads and stuff. It interfered with that, so the ads would show up on the player because of the color of the uniforms. So the NBA banned them, and that's why they don't use them anymore. Dumb tangent, but I always find it interesting. Let's also see,
shout out to Lydia. Sorry, Lydia. You deserve better than that.
Lydia went to my first Suns game in Charlotte just to see KD score 13 points. Disappointed is an understatement. Yeah. Well, there is that. Let's take a look at what BetMGM thinks about today's game. I assume this probably will shift before the game, but it's still, you're giving the home team the 2.5 points.
Take that money. Take that money.
I mean, if you could still get it at plus 115, hop in there and take it right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Because this should be something that shifted. Who do you guys got? I know we kind of adjusted these on the fly, but who do you got today?
Oh, I was always high on the Suns today. Suns by 5.
I have Suns by 6. I didn't change it. I think that this could go up as high as 10 today, but I'm going to stay with Suns at 6.
I'm sticking by Suns by 3. I had that with Giannis in, but I still think it's going to be a closer game than people think.
Well, let's take a look at what we're betting on today on the BetMGM Sportsbook app. I'll start. It's simple. I have the Suns winning by 6-10 at a plus 555. Feel a little bit better about this now.
550.
You get an extra 5 since Giannis is out. So 555.
Mine is pretty simple. I got 4 guys. I just need them to score fucking points today. Grayson Allen with 12, Nurkic with 8, Beal with 20, and KD with 25. They didn't have Booker on the Sportsbook app at the time I was betting this. Otherwise, I'd have taken him too. But it is what it is.
Nurk might be the toughest of them.
He might be,
because he's been struggling on the scoring since Ramadan. He's still rebounding.
Well, no, I would disagree. I think this is actually a benefit because he can eat all the way up until the sun comes up, and since it's an early game, he doesn't have as much between now and the later game, right? So he's only had like 4 hours before since the sun came up to play. So I think he'll be all right.
Good point.
So Nurk was eating White Castle
breakfast sandwiches.
No
free ads. Flex.
Oh, my bad, dog.
What are you betting on?
I'm taking my home run swing, man. I got no choice. I'm so backed up. I gotta pause. I got Swimmer's bet. What's that? Grayson?
Why we go back to Cream City here? I mean,
What's that? Is that that's a Grayson 3, right?
Bradley Beal.
Oh, you don't even know what you're betting.
who you're picking.
No, my bad. The other day I did that. I made a mistake. Brad Beal, 3-pointer. Get me back in the game, bro.
I love how confident you are. You don't even know who you're picking. Let's look at what Lindsay's minus bet is today. Oh, it's a plus 110. She just has the Suns money line, which just got a little bit easier for her. So congratulations, Lindsay, on potentially getting that 10 cents back in your account. If you want to take any of these bets or avoid them like the plague and make your own bet, you can do that with the BetMGM Sportsbook. Right now, you can get if you bet $5, you can get $150 instantly. It's just that easy. Use the code PHNX when you download that BetMGM Sportsbook app on iOS or Android, or visit BetMGM.com. Sign up and deposit at least $5 in your newly created account. Place a wager in the amount of at least $5 at standard odds price. And once you place that bet, you're going to get $150 in bonus bets regardless. Once again, sign up for BetMGM. Use the promo code PHNX. Place that first bet of at least $5, and you're going to get $150 instantly in additional winnings regardless of your wager's outcome. Now check out the show notes for full details and listen to Damon talk about the disclaimer.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-UP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117. For confidential help, Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
Get stuffed, Ontario, and yes, Puerto Rico. We are going to continue to apologize for Flex representing you in betting until he gets a big win.
Till I hit.
Let's take a look at some of the super chats that we got. Manuel Ramiro, thanks for getting up early with us. $2. Do y'all think we could hit 50 wins?
Yes.
I don't even know how many they're at right now.
39.
39.
39, and there's
Yes.
what, 17 games left?
Yes.
I mean,
So 11 and 6 down the stretch.
Yeah.
you better hit 50. I'm going to say you better hit 50
you better
wins.
hit 50. Yeah, I think they'll hit 50.
Yeah. The next 5. Let's say we win tonight without Giannis, which we should, and you got Philly with no Embiid, Atlanta with no Trae Young,
Back-to-back
Spurs. This could be 5. This could be 6 straight.
I think you have to
forget. This better be 6 straight.
your next 6. You got to at least be 4 and 2, which would put
No,
you.
they
what,
better go 6 straight.
Well, I mean,
Ain't no fucking excuses to lose these games.
Well, I agree.
Why are you
but if-
smirking at me?
Because it feels like this is like part of the grieving process already. We're trying to get to that point of acceptance.
Nah, yeah, no.
Sorry, just to make it clear, they only have 15 games left, including today.
Oh, so they have to go 11 and 4.
So they're going to have to go 11 and 4, including today. It's the last 15 to get to 50 wins.
This is why I'm saying they have to win the next damn 5. They have to.
Well, you said the next game 6.
No,
so
because
now
they
you-
won the last game.
Oh, gotcha. You were counting last
counting
game.
Charlotte.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, they tried to lose that once.
They got to win these, bro.
I agree. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
if you want to stay in contention for that 5th or 6th spot, you got to rattle off the easy wins because the rest of them are going to be brutal down the stretch. I think it's going to be tough to get to 50.
Yeah, I totally agree. Also, you know what? Listen, I feel like I've been a little bit pessimistic in this show, and I apologize for that, everyone. I promise you, win or lose, I will be optimistic in the post game for you. For you.
Oh, you'll be awake by then, so that helps.
They'll win the next 5 and go 500 in the last 10, and they'll have exactly 50 wins. That's my prediction.
I hope they don't go 500 in the last 10 because you need. Those are teams you're competing at.
The math don't
you
add up there, does it?
No,
One
the
game
math-
short.
Yeah.
So they'll go 6 and 4 in the last 10. They're getting 50 wins.
All right. Alicia Barkley, 199 super chat. She didn't say anything, but we appreciate the donation to the cause. And our friend Psycho Blue with the 999 super chat says, Basketball Cthulhu welcomes Apostle Isaiah back to the Abysmal Valley. Can we hire a new shooting coach next? Maybe IT can turn into that shooting coach at some point. Last thing before we get out of here, let's take a look at what we're scoreboard watching today. It's simple. It's on ABC right after the Suns. It's Nuggets, Mavs. You need the Mavs to lose this game so you can keep in that 6th spot. Suns sit in 6th after Sacramento crapped the bed last night in their game. So out of the play-in as of right now, but we'll see what happens this morning. You can watch the game on ABC. So for Flex, you can follow him at Flex from Jersey. Follow Saul at Saul_Bookman. You can follow the show at PHNX_Suns. And you can follow me at Espo. And remember,
Priscilla.
Thanks for being up so early. Ahoy, hoy.
We all silly like the mayor.